Hey guys, Tim here, back with another Mythic Plus breakdown analysis video for one of my Devastation Evoker games keys that I recorded. Not Halloween weekend, but the weekend before. This time it's going to be for an Azure Vault plus 10 with the Thundering Affix. A lot of people were giving this dungeon a lot of hate, and during the dungeon, whenever I was in the middle of it, I was feeling that hate. But looking back on it and going through this video, I actually really did enjoy the dungeon itself. It's tough. It's a tough dungeon for sure. And we talk about it throughout the whole video. But unlike the Ruby Life Pools video that came out before this, my gameplay is a hell of a lot better. It came towards the end of the weekend of recording and doing mythics and all that stuff. And the gameplay is miles better. We got the interrupts, we got the tail swipes, we got the wing buffets. We're using our whole kit for the most part. Still missing some things here or there. We'll point them out. But this is just one of those things where you can, if you put the practice in, if you consciously think of what you need to work on, you can just get better. Truly, you just get better at these dungeons as time goes on. So I hope you guys are learning something. Hope you guys are enjoying these. If you do, subscribe to the channel here. Broke down this video on stream again. Follow me over on Twitch if that's where you like to watch live videos at. Or if you like to watch your live videos here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel here so you know that I'm live either way. But hope to see you guys in the streams. And if not, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Subscribe, comments, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. This is an Azure Vault 10. Thundering. I don't think we had Fortified on. Azure Vault is a... It's one of those dungeons that the start of the dungeon will make or break your group. 100%. How your group handles the start of this dungeon will make or break this group, like all the way up until the first boss. After the first boss, this dungeon isn't that bad, but all the way up to this first boss, it is awful. People complain that it's a big dungeon and there's a lot of running and all that stuff. As you'll see, there's teleporting. After you complete each boss, you can teleport to that boss room to then run to where you need to up until the next boss. So while there is still a lot of running, I mean, it's just what it is. Just don't die. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't die. But the first set of mobs in this dungeon are brutal. Like, absolutely brutal. As you'll see, like, there's these conjured lashers here, okay? They do an ability called Mystic Vapors that I believe need to be kicked. So let me look this up real quick. Wowhead.com. The Azure Vault. I don't know if it's gonna have anything on this dungeon in terms of like the mobs inside of it. NPCs, comments. I want to know. I don't think there's gonna be anything in there. Dragonflight dungeons. Darn it, there's no guide yet for the dungeon. From what I can tell, these conjured lashers do a thing called Mystic Vapors, and when they cast it, it hurts, and it puts like a pull underneath you, which hurts, and it's a brutal group. There's also a little whelpling flying around, and if you wake it up, it wakes up all his rock bros who also hurt. So, yeah, let's just play it. Let's just play it.
Be wary, champions. My vault is many things, but
this group handles everything pretty well, but it's still pretty rough at times. Because he pulls these guys. I don't know if he pulls any more, but yeah, we just have these three. Okay, I get that one kick. I try to stop another one with a wing buffet. So you'll see me starting to use things more. Like, this is me after a lot of different dungeon runs. I think it's one of my last runs I did this weekend. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before Halloween. So like, I'm starting to utilize my whole kit more. But then we have 3 more in here. So it's like pretty brutal. I'm trying to use Dragon Rage there. I'm in the middle of all this shit though. Like, I'm in the middle of it. I get stunned in a Mystic Vapor. So this guy, the big tree, does a stun where he turns into a plant. I think you do damage off of you potentially, but then like I had the vapors underneath me too. It was fucking brutal. These first two pulls put you in a fucking blender for sure. But it was okay there. It was okay overall. Like we handled it overall very well. You don't want to pull this whole room. You gotta be very careful. But you get 4 lashers now. 4. You've been dealing with 3. Let's add another one. There's 1 Mystic Vapors. This tank though, AoE shield wall, which is what saved my life there. It absolutely saved my life there. You see how much health I had? I had not a lot. I had 2 stacks, so like it stacks up too, as you could tell if you keep track of the debuffs there. Let's go back for a second. Nope. Start of this pull. Look at the debuffs here. I think we had at least 2. 1, 2. And it lasts for 5 seconds. And look at the health just chunk. Oh my lord. Holy shit. You gotta be on that shit. And as you can see, I again starting to use more of my kit here in this dungeon for sure. Which is what you need to do. This is a dungeon where you definitely gotta be careful and you definitely gotta pay attention and definitely utilize your whole kit, because shit hoits.
My beloved Malagos gifted me with arcane seeds.
These big guys, again, they do a CC, so you don't want to pull the whole room, or else your whole group's just gonna be CC'd and it's just like worthless. You definitely want to probably pull these guys one at a time, because like 2 of these guys are just plants right now. You can just tell by like my damage stuff too. I'm a lot more confident with what I'm doing. We're cranking it out on these pulls. Still not using Dragon Rages enough, I feel, but you know, starting to at least get the typical rotation down, which helps a bunch. Dude, that AoE shield wall is strong, which is why I'm leveling a warrior. If I'm gonna play tank at all, I think I want to play a warrior. I've always wanted to play a warrior tank. They just have been not the greatest, and they're looking fun. Even if some of their numbers get tweaked, they're still looking pretty fun with their kit, with the AoE shield wall, AoE rends, you know, stuff like that. Like, it looks pretty fun still. So we're gonna play. That's why we're leveling it. And like this dungeon here like showed me like how cool and how fun a warrior can definitely be as well. You'll see on this next fight for sure. And I'm not talking about the spell reflect bullshit that people are doing, because that's gonna get fucking nerfed. it's so gonna get nerfed. People are like abusing spell reflect to do like a ton of damage as a pro warrior right now. But I'm not even talking about that. So this fight's pretty cool. This guy does a slam in front of him, to where the slam needs to break these trees. These trees do something. I don't know what. We'll look it up after this fight. But you know, when a tree breaks, it spawns the saplings. So that's a thing. And then with these, I know we want to get on the trees with these little AoE things we have as well. But it also spawns saplings. I don't know what the trees do or why they're bad. But we want to make sure they're cleared up at least. I think it just like... I think it's one of those things where they just take up space. And if you don't break the trees, you just run out of space in the room. I am an idiot. This is where I die. I had the... let's replay that. I was not paying attention to the thundering. And our stuff got fucked. It was just me and the tank with it left, I think, and that feral druid. The feral druid should have. Oh no, it's a resto druid. So I went to clear it, but we got stunned, and then because I didn't clear it quick enough, and yeah, we got fucked there. So definitely pay attention to your timers. I mean, there's no excuse there. That's just bad play on my part. Again, also, bystander effect. Expecting the rest of the druid to do it because they have movement. And I thought I had a hover charge, but I didn't. And, yeah, it just kind of got me fucked up there. So long story short, everyone dies and the warrior solos this the rest of the way through. Boss at 30%, the warrior, you know, finishes the rest of the way. Let's take a look at the adventure guide to this boss. Home, Azure vaults, this guy, Laymore, abilities, Mythic. Leyline sprouts causes several leyline sprouts to spring fur and grow nearby. Magical roots inflict that much damage to every player within 1 yard. Volatile sapling. Leyline sprouts create volatile saplings when destroyed. So you don't want to destroy too many at a time because you get all those ads. But you also want to keep them destroyed so you don't, you know, have the room covered by them. That's pretty much the mechanic behind these guys. But if you destroy too many, you get too many saplings. So you gotta be careful with how many you destroy. I think at one point the arms warrior, or is that Fury? I can't tell. The DPS warrior is like, just wipe it. And I was like, nah, dog, he's got this. So let's just skip ahead here. Still fighting him. Yeah, big old war. Just die. I said, nah, he has it. And he's like, never mind. Warriors are strong. So, that's everyone rezzed. And we go on throughout the rest of the thing here.
The location of my
yeah, so that boss isn't too bad. I didn't pay attention to thundering and I got myself killed, so it's what it is.
To behold, I am unsure of what effects it will have on your mortal
I don't know how everyone else died, but that's how I died. So
be on the lookout for the growth of extra
with these circles grow and get smaller. If anyone goes inside of those circles with the shrieking whelps, all of those rock dudes wake up. And those rock dudes fucking hurt. All right. Those rock dudes, they do some sort of like, you'll see it. We die to it because it was like there's unavoidable ones of those up here. But yeah, shit's brutal. Shit's brutal. It hurts. All right, I had exhausted every single thing I had. You saw me wing buffet there. You saw me interrupt. You saw me tail swipe to keep that waking whatever from casting. I don't know what it does, but I didn't like the sound of it, so I made sure it didn't get cast there, which is huge. And that's honestly everything aside from I could do a dragon breath as well because I'm expecting the word dragon breath can do a sun as well. Like I pretty much had used everything at my disposal in my kit before those guys died to keep that cast from going off, which it's kind of what you want to do, you know? Waking Bane, yeah, that just sounds dangerous, Waking Bane. I don't know. I just don't fuck with it, you know? I don't know what this AoE thing is on us. I was just trying not to step on people or step into people's thing there. Oh, we popped the Dragon Rage on trash. Huge. This man's popping off now. We getting disintegrate bugs where it wasn't showing our laser beam even though we were casting it. I think this, I don't know what's causing like this circle around us. I don't see a debuff anywhere. I see the roots and I see the thundering thing, but I don't see a debuff anywhere. So I'm not sure what these circle things are on us. But I wasn't getting near anyone. I wasn't chancing that for sure. Let's try to keep an eye out for what caused it maybe. If we get any more. Avoid, there's a frontal that's going out, I guess. Oh, that, yeah. These things are just coming down from the sky. Forbidden knowledge. Rock dudes! So yeah, these guys are pats. I don't know if you can avoid them or not, but there's a frontal that comes out from one of these guys. The piercing shards fucking hurts. I think it's just a frontal that goes out in front of you, but definitely gotta be careful for it. This is where I should be using Pyre more, especially at you know, max stacks. I'm sitting at 20 charge stacks and I still wasn't casting Pyre. That's something I need to work into my rotation more. This weekend I definitely want to do more Mythic Plus Dungeons. I know I keep saying I want to, but like I definitely want to like actually crank out some Mythic Plus Dungeons on Evoker this weekend. Like even if it comes down to me making my own groups, I really just want to keep doing it. And just really get the feel for this class going into the expansion. We got 2 weeks, 15 days until they release on retail. Obviously, we can just do our starting leveling zone and then do LFRs and maybe get into some normal and heroic groups and stuff. Do the pre-patch stuff, which we'll do. But I'm just excited for the expansion in general. This guy's got fucking wrecked. That healer just got destroyed by that by that oh my god, don't be in front of these guys, they're brutal. Piercing shards, it's a frontal, you can avoid it. I tried to survive what I could here. Tried to take down what I could with me. This was not avoidable though. I popped an obsidian shard too on that, and that just piercing shards plus the melee. Oh, we got fucked.
It seems the more
This is just a teleport back to the first boss room. Not terrible. Not a terrible run back. Could be better. I feel like the timer is very forgiving on this dungeon though. So. Honestly, I love the look of this dungeon. I love the design of this dungeon. The boss fights are actually pretty cool, pretty chill. I do like the mob design and all that stuff. Honestly, Azure Vault, I was down on at first, but like with a solid group, this can be a really fun dungeon. With a solid group, I don't hate this dungeon. I'm not gonna lie. The Knock Hut Offensive, that place though, that is I don't know how I feel about that one. I did 2 runs of it. They all both died on the second boss. Both groups like fell apart on the second boss. Just don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know enough about it to really pass a good judgment on it, so I'm just not going to. Azure Vault though, looking back on this, pretty solid. And like I love seeing this like from the other ones, like from this weekend, the early ones from this weekend, like the Algothar Academy and that Ruby Life Pulse from earlier, to watching this, like I feel like the play has just improved so much on the Evoker. Granted as well, I mean, okay, we do have an enhanced shaman, he's dead. We do have an enhanced shaman in this group, but I feel like he was learning enhanced. He didn't really know the class, because like we were holding our own too. Granted, there's a warrior, DPS warrior in this group. I think that's Fury. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is a healthy breakfast alternative. We've all heard growing up, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But if you're like me, most of the time you just kind of glean over it or eat the really crappy food, which just does not bode well mid-morning when you are having that sugar crash and all that stuff. Magic Spoon helps solve that. Magic Spoon cereals come with 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 to 5 net grams of carbs in each serving. Total serving is only 140 calories total. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. So if you fall in any of those categories, where if you're on a keto diet or if you are gluten intolerant and you can't have soy or any of that type of stuff, it's really great for you. They offer a different variety of, you can do a variety box with the different boxes that come in. You can do all one flavor, but they got flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle. They also got honey nut, blueberry muffin, and cinnamon roll for all their cereal flavors. And they taste just like the name brands that you would find at the store. They also have little cereal bars. I shouldn't say little. Standard size cereal bars if you are on the go in the morning like I am. Don't have time to sit and eat a bowl of cereal. Those come to different flavors like cookies and cream, cocoa peanut butter, s'mores, and even more. So definitely check it out. If you click on the link down in the description and use the code STREAM2071, that is the code STREAM2071, you get $5 off your first Magic Spoon purchase. If you click on the link down below and use that coupon code, you get $5 off and enjoy a healthy breakfast alternative to start your days off right. I don't know. I felt like we were holding our own for sure. I need next time I'm in here, I need to check what those aura things do. They look like they were buffs and not debuffs. So like maybe I should be standing on people with that stuff. Maybe that is huge. We're conditioned to not keep people in our little circle things around us, and maybe we need to. Maybe that's what needs to happen. We released that when we didn't want to release that. I wanted to cast it a little. I wanted to stop casting that and move from that ability and redo it, but it's whatever. Who's casting that root? I'm trying to see who's casting that root. Oh, there's the big dragon worm thing. The not the arcane constructs, but that dragon worm dude. We see a bunch of those in the next room after this. They have one ability that needs to be kicked, and it's that root. I wasn't focused on that up until like after we wiped them a second time, but. I was just focusing on these elementals, not letting this waking bane go off. Except for right there where I fucked up. But you see use of the dragon breath more in this. Different ranks of fire breath as I start to understand it more. The only thing I want to see more for me going forward from this is more pyre usage and more dragon breath usage, which didn't happen as much. It started happening a little bit more this past weekend with that Shadow Moon Burial Grounds, that Court of Stars run we did. But definitely those, and then more Azure strikes on bigger packs as well instead of hard casting Living Flame. Those are the 3 key areas in terms of like damaging abilities that I want to make sure I'm using more. Is Dragon Rage more, Pyre more, especially at like full 20 stacks of charged stuff, and then Azure Strike on packs of 2 or more mobs. Spoiler alert: we don't have enough count. I think you need to kill those crystal bros. These crystal bros right here. I think you gotta kill these guys. I think we're at 99% count. And I think we gotta kill these crystal bros. which wouldn't be off. I think there's what, 2? Is there 3 of them there? There's 3 of them there. That's not going to be an awful pull if you're ready for it. Dealing with the whelplings in these guys is a bitch, but if you're ready for this pull, I don't think it's going to be an awful pull. I'll keep an eye out to see if there's more proper things for count, but from what I could tell, this is my only time running this. We were at 99%. I think we need to kill these guys, though. We didn't go back and do it. We just said, fuck this place, we're out. After our run. We don't time this, spoiler alert. With 10 seconds left on the timer and 21 minutes, 22 minutes left on the thing here, obviously we don't time this dungeon. But we were all learning it. We all, and I fucking, this is the type of group that I want on beta, is just sticking it out, learning it, because this is the first time the Warrior was in here, first time I was in here on Mythic. Like, let's just learn the shit and see what seems broken and just kind of do it. Like here, we pulled so much, and then I don't think we did as much after that because the Icy Bindings cast is the cast that we want to interrupt. Not anything else, not this Condensed Frost, but Icy Bindings is what we want to cast and what we want to interrupt, and we definitely did not. Because what they do is they do the Icy Bindings into that Condensed Cold thing or whatever, so you can't move out of it. It's brutal. Yeah, we got rocked there. But yeah, with this, you gotta either have a very coordinated group. You could pull 2 packs of those and have 1 person on each Rune Seal Keeper, and just rotate kicks, knocks, or anything like that, to keep them up. And you could do 2 groups and nuke them down, or just if you're with a pug, it's best to just do 1 group at a time. You know.
Well met.
That's just slower. Like, it's not even slow and steady. It's just smart and steady at that point. Like, yeah, you won't, like, you're gonna lose a little bit of time, but like nothing compared to the time that we're running back here. So definitely keep that in mind, especially as tanks and stuff like that. Because in my opinion, tanks control the pace of a Mythic group. You know, tanks really are, like, they are quote unquote the leaders of the group, because they are the ones, you do need them in the healers to, you know, pull. But you know, if you're a tank and you're in a pug, I would honestly, steady is always best, especially when you get towards the hierarchies. This is just a 10, and I know everyone's like, you know, it's just a 10, it's not that difficult and stuff like that, but like, unless you're running with a coordinated group and you're running with a pug, it could be a little difficult. It could be a little difficult. I don't know. Everyone was complaining, and I was even like complaining about this dungeon at the time, but like looking back on it, it's not that bad. You just can't run in and face roll it, which I think people want to do. It's like,
I am out of range.
I don't mind not being able to go in and face roll it, you know? I don't mind having to, like, you know, work around certain things. Yeah, hardcasting Living Flame there, not the play. Since that guy was all alone, probably the better pull there, but and the Warrior's like, sex, you can't chain pull it. You can chain pull it if you have a coordinated group. That's all. If you have a coordinated group, you can chain pull. You can pull one of the groups into this lieutenant here. This lieutenant just does a frontal. You just have to be careful with that. But you can pull the group into the lieutenant and cleave off of the rune binders, or whatever they're called, until you kill them, and then, you know, go from there. But there's ways around it. So I don't know. I like the dungeon. Looking back, I actually like the dungeon. I like its design. I like a lot about it. I don't see much wrong with it. You just gotta learn it, you know. That's one of the things. Like, you know, when we don't like things, we don't understand things. You know, we get a little scared. We get a little angry. This would be a good pack for Dragon Rage too. Just didn't cast it. Also, first time in here, not sure of the timings, a lot of stuff. How much there is before bosses and stuff. More times I do stuff, the more comfortable I get used with just cranking cooldowns and stuff too, though. You know, that's just how that's gonna go. The more I do stuff, the more I'll get comfortable with my abilities and stuff. Look at that interrupt. We're interrupt king on this one though. So like, you know, that Ruby Life Pools where I didn't kick shit, definitely redeemed ourselves in this dungeon. Definitely redeemed ourselves in this dungeon with the interrupts after that Ruby Life Pool shit show. Oh shit.
No, mine. It is all mine. Take care of them.
Actually gonna go after the call this run, guys. I was gonna level up my warrior, but I just got a good order that I'm gonna go do here in a little bit. 62 bucks for 21 miles? Yeah, I'll do that one all day. Gotta pick it up in 45 minutes, so. We took a ball. This boss isn't so bad. You kill the boss, these guys come up. He shits balls out, and then you know, you gotta kill these guys to get to the boss. That's all. He doesn't heal or anything. He just shits out the balls, and you can't do anything to the boss while these guys are up. That's all. Just gotta dance. Just gotta dance. Overshot the guy with the hover because he got knocked back. You can't be mad at that. I think he summons these guys throughout the whole dungeon, or throughout the whole fight too, so you gotta take those guys down too. It's not too tough of a fight. It's kind of annoying, you know, but it's what it is. Oh, it's so cool seeing, you know, just to disintegrate and the eternity spans coming out from it. He took that fall. I told you my dragon breath gets me in trouble. I told you that shit gets me in trouble. Oh, it's so good. It doesn't seem like it's a percentage thing. It seems like it's just a timing thing when he does this. He's at 10% health. The other time he was like at 60% health, so like I could see if it was maybe he was at like 30% or 60% and 30% he did it, but he was like at 60-some%, and now he's at 10%, so like I don't know. We definitely were killing him a lot quicker this time. I'm not sure if we just had focused damage or if someone was trying to hit the boss last time. We definitely killed us a lot quicker this time around. So, decent boss fight overall.
I do not blame her. I should have thought of her before I left. This door. I sense a breach behind it.
Yeah, Dragon Breath is in so much trouble is what I said.
This way.
I literally Dragon Breathed right into that big old ball that that boss was casting. I don't know how I didn't die. Oh, it's too good. I think you could probably get count in this room too. It might actually be better to get count in this room. I don't think we pulled the whole thing. We'll have to see where we're at. But I definitely think there was mobs what we left behind, like on the way to the last few bosses here that maybe we don't have to pull those rock bros I said on the circle platform. This is a perfect spot for Dragon Rage as well. Wait, did I even Dragon Rage last boss?
Breach behind.
Hold up. Oh, I did. Okay, it was on cooldown. It was just coming off cooldown here. Because if I didn't even Dragon Rage on the boss, I'm just dumb and throwing. Ideally, the perfect use of Dragon Breath is obviously you want the last tick of your Dragon Breath. Not Dragon Breath, Dragon Rage. The perfect use of Dragon Rage is you want the last second of that buff to tick as the boss hits 0% health. Because then that means you are getting the full use of your mastery, which is you're doing as much damage as if the person was 100% health when they were at 1% health. That's a perfect world timing on that. Good luck ever doing that, though. Good luck ever having that perfect timing on that is all I gotta say. This warrior was so excited he could finally like chain pull some shit and just do a big ass pull. So he did it. So he did. Do a giant ass pull. Look at that Dragon Breath go. Hold up. Let's see what the damage roll there real quick. Okay, we were already pretty far up there on damage because we were doing damage on the move. These guys were just lagging behind or something. I don't know what they're doing. You just see it pop up though once we caught Dragon Breath. Ready? Here it comes. Dragon Breath. 30k to 67k. Look at the pyre damage jump up. Because Dragon Breath or Dragon Rage gives you it just does 3 pyres. Deep Breath is up there, Eternity Surge. Boom, pyre. I love it. And that's why pyre hasn't been buffed yet. Because when you do your Dragon Rage, it's just casting 3 pyres. That's all it's doing. It's also giving you your full mastery benefit and all that other fun stuff. But that's why they haven't buffed pyre yet. Because how do you buff pyre and not make Dragon Rage completely broken? Dragon Rage is already a very strong button. I don't want them to rework Dragon Rage to give a pyre buff. Personally. What they need to do, because from what I remember, and you can pull the rest of this room to get your percent. I'm looking back, we left like a lot of mobs behind. What they should probably do is because they definitely need to buff the damage of pyre itself, because we're just not. I mean, I'm not hitting it at all, even with charge blast. But like on a pull like this, I want to use pyre. I think I did use it there. Oh my god! But like I want to use it like just when I have essence, I want to crank it, no matter if I have 20 stacks or not. Like this is an AOE pack. Like I want to use my AOE ability. But the damage just isn't there. The numbers aren't there, so we just hit disintegrate. So I think to make pyre better, they need to make the damage better. But to not make Dragon Rage so overpowered, they need to make Dragon Rage its own spell. It needs to launch off its own spell and not pyre. Does that make sense? Because right now, how Dragon Rage reads, and this is like,
What is she hiding?
how do I want to say? I'm not verbatim, but essentially, when you cast Dragon Rage, you launch off three pyres. You launch off pyre at 3 different targets, or something like that.
Did she send you?
So like it even says in the ability that you launch pyre at 3 different targets. It could just be launch a ball of fire at 3 different targets, something like that. We'll look it up in a second. But my favorite thing here is don't drop the ice on the big rune circles, the druid says going into this boss fight.
Enough.
These are the rune circles. Right where the boss starts, druid says don't drop the ice in the big rune circles. Everyone drops, but me drops ice on the rune circle. This boss kind of works like the third boss in the Oculus in Wrath. I like how the fucking prot warrior's just standing there like nothing. So the big runes. The druid, so the big runes. Don't drop ice on them.
Your death is the only.
Oh, we were having fun at this point. Oh, we were having so much fun at this point.
Greeting.
It's not very apparent. Honestly, it's not very apparent what the runes are and stuff. But that's just hilarious. So we had a mob in here we could kill for percent. Yeah, we were at 97%. So we had a mob in here we could kill. We had a few other mobs along the way. I'm not sure if this is all gonna be enough, but we have one guy we left in here. We had fun this run. This run we didn't time. This run wasn't the cleanest, but this group had fun. We were figuring it out. I'm trying to fly with me with this guy, but it just wasn't working.
Must get closer.
I feel like it would stop. I don't know what was going on. I eventually just grabbed him and made him go. But yeah, I mean, I think you guys understand what I'm saying about the Dragonflight. Okay, we had a few other mobs in here too. We might be able to get this 1097%. I think you still gotta pull those rock dudes though. I think the quickest bit would be to pull those rock dudes. Potentially on the first circle platform I was talking about. Because there's no more trash after this boss. You go from this boss to the next boss, which is the last boss. And who knows, by the time, you know, I'm talking about this live on stream, but by the time this goes up on YouTube, there could be a pyre change. This is usually the day where we get like this is usually the day where we get a big change, a big patch on beta. Tuesdays or Wednesdays are usually when we get them, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. That guy was doing his own disintegrate on me. It was really rude. Can't interrupt it either. Just gotta fucking take it. So he goes in the middle, does his bomb thing. Instead of LOSing, you just gotta get these shields here. Like I was saying, he's like the third boss from Oculus with just some slight changes. But you get the frost bombs where you leave the, you know, icy area behind that does damage to you, whatever. You're slowing it and shit. And he goes in the middle, he does a bomb. Like, pretty much the same fight. But I'm okay with it because it's a cool fight. Cool fight design. Slight movement and shit. A little bit more healing intensive for this one, for sure. And everyone's involved and not just the melee. So, overall, it's decent. And this, I'm just still, I think I use Dragon Rage. I hope I do. But I'm still delaying. At the rate we're killing him, I'll have my empowered abilities up, and he has his middle thing as well. I'll probably cast it right as he comes down, to be honest. But I'd probably, like, looking back on this, and with this rate that we're doing this, yeah, I've cast it here. I probably would wait until, like, 15%. 20% maybe. It all depends on how fast the group's killing, you know? Or maybe I die here. I really don't know. I can't remember. No, I don't die. I was low on health. I was getting disintegrated. It was really kind of rude. Yeah, what? He was at 40-some%. He's at 17% here. Yeah. Definitely would probably cast it at 20% looking at this in the future. Each group's gonna be different in how fast they DPS. Like, look, now we're in execute range, and the warrior's just fucking popping off. Look how fast he fucking dropped when he was at execute range. It's just one of them things. You gotta be careful with it. You wanna time it up. Did we kill this in this first attempt? I think we do. Yeah, we have 5 minutes. This boss is a little bit longer one. And in this, he summons these crystals, and we just gotta kill the crystals when they're up. I think I take a frontal during this. I think I take a breath or frontal of sorts. I could be wrong, but I think I remember dying here. This boss is a cool fucking boss. It's a crystal dragon, like. Seath, eat your heart out. Am I right, guys? Shout out to my FromSoft nerds. In hindsight, I would have not used Fire Breath there. I would have saved it for the boss. And I would have just disintegrated that thing down. Or at least put an angle. Like, I would have gone, like, just rank 1 Fire Breath. Was that a frontal? Hold up. What killed me there? AoE. Can you avoid that? Unleash destruction. Am I logged in here? No, let me log in real quick. Oh, we gotta be res. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Is there a range on that? Is kind of what I'm wondering. And why did I die? No one else. That was fucking rude. That was really rude. So you have so much time before these things fracture. I think when they fracture, they just do AoE damage, which you just don't want. We have, what, 10 stacks of this slow, so like you're slower as this too. Oh, then someone was like, can anyone lust? I was like, oh shit, I can lust. I always forget. When we're in raids, I'm gonna get a button like for when we need to lust, and it's just gonna like, it's gonna be a weak aura that says lust, you stupid idiot. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna say. It's when it's gonna be. It's gonna be lust, you stupid idiot. Because I just forget I have the button. Until it's ingrained in my brain that I have a lust. It's even worse because our tier set as evokers give us a lust. I think it's our 2-piece. Or maybe it's our 4-piece when we do empowered abilities. It gives us lust. So it's like I even forget even more about it because like we almost, you know, we have lust up a bunch.
He knew that wild magic was dangerous, but he meddled with it anyway. By the time we found
Umber
him,
Skull's pretty cool
we could
boss
not
looking
stop
though.
the growth.
Pretty cool looking boss.
I placed him in stasis until I could find a proper cure.
Yeah, we were at 97%. We had more
And then
count to kill. I really don't know.
I was gone.
Really don't know
Champion.
where you get the count.
You did
But,
what was needed
Hey,
and
what it
ended
is.
his suffering.
we didn't kill
Thank
any
you.
extra mobs, so.
I am but a simulacrum. But once,
But that's the boss fight
I
there.
was
We did
another.
pretty good single target damage on the boss. I mean,
please,
all things considered. We had other
leave me
mobs kill
alone.
too. Disintegrate was huge in the boss fight. Let's see if I can go over my overall damage here. But that's Azure Vault. Looking back, it's not awful. It just requires some learning, that's all. Just requires some learning. And there's nothing wrong with learning. That's why we're here. That's why we do these things. That's why we go over the VODs. So we can all learn together. I don't claim to be a great player. I'm an okay player. I'm a good player. I'm not a fantastic player. I want to get better.
We've been expecting.
This is how we get better. This is overall. Okay, Fire Breath.
Congratulated for your success.
Big. Eternity Surge and then Disintegrate. Pyre was just from Dragon Breath pops though, which
We owe you a great
we need
deal
to
for the part you have played
use
in
it
the
better.
destiny of our flight.
Alright, who the fuck is talking?